I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Bachelor AM with Kelsey and Sanaa. We are so lucky today to be joined by the one, the only, the fabulous Kiarra Norman. You may remember her entrance on Peter's season of The Bachelor. Girl, you came out of a suitcase. We can't wait to hear about it. We can't wait to chat with you. You are so fabulous. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited.
Oh, we're so excited. So we have to ask you, with everything going on right now, pandemic, quarantine, racial tension, there's a lot of stuff. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's a lot right now for sure with graduating from college, quarantine, COVID, Black Lives Matter. It's a lot, but I'm good. I'm handling it. I'm helping people as I can. So doing the right thing here.
Oh, good. And you graduated. Very exciting. Sanaa and I were chatting earlier about how you took a semester off to go on to The Bachelor, correct?
Correct.
So then you went back and finished, and now you're graduated. How are you feeling?
I feel relieved. I feel excited, but a little stressed at the same time, just because I'm like, I got to get a real job now. Like, we got to make some power moves, more power moves. So I'm good. It's just very different. It's a crazy time to be graduating from college and seeing everything that's happening in the world, but it's also been very eye-opening. So I'm very thankful and just hoping for change at the same time.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially having. So did you have a virtual graduation?
No. So they planned one. It never happened. And they said that they were going to schedule one for us in like July with the summer class that graduated. Haven't heard anything yet. So at this point, it's like, if I get my diploma, I will be happy and I will be good to go.
Oh, you poor thing.
But my mom and my parents are like, please, like if they do a virtual or if they do a walk, like in July or December, please go. So of course I will go. But at this point, I'm like, I was in school for 5.5 years, took some time off, and I'm just done.
You're like, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. And you're like, Mom and Dad, I've already been on TV. Right. I'm basically a star. Like, I don't need to walk my graduation, okay?
I don't know. Life just happens, you know? That's all I can say. Life just happens.
Life just happens. How did The Bachelor come about for you?
So I actually didn't watch The Bachelor before trying out. I had seen like Bachelor in Paradise, and I was like, oh, okay, this show is interesting. It's good. All my friends were obsessed with it. One day I was scrolling through Snapchat and I saw a girl that I follow had applied, and I'm just like, you can apply just for fun. So I apply, and then the calls start coming, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do this. And then more calls, and then interviews, and then LA, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. So for me, I just kind of tried out and just to see what happened, and it actually happened for me. And so I quickly became a fan of the show, and it was just like surreal. I was like, I can't believe this is happening, but I'm glad that it is. And I'm just one of those people that like, if it comes to you, take advantage of it and give it your all. So I gave it my all, and it's now.
That's amazing.
Speaking of giving it your all, you definitely did on your limo entrance to Peter. How'd you come up with that idea? Like, is this something that you have been thinking about and trying to plot to make yourself different? How'd you come up with that?
So for my entrance, I definitely wanted to be different. I knew there was going to be a lot of girls doing great things walking in, and I was like, I want him to remember me. How can I come up with something that he will remember? And so I kept saying, you know, I want to do something with luggage or baggage. And I tried to come up with like little poems and stuff like that. And then I remember I was like, I wonder if I could do something actually with luggage or baggage. And so I had talked to a couple of the producers about what I could do. And I was like, I bet if I could fit in one, like we could do something like that. And they were like, you think you could actually fit in one? And I was like, you know what? We're going to try. So we got it wasn't even like a giant suitcase. It was like pretty average, like a bigger one. And so I got in it that night in my dress, and I was like, I really hope this works because I haven't practiced it. We practiced it once before. Just once. So I was like, if this doesn't work, I'm going to be so embarrassed. The world is never going to forget this. But I got in, I fit, and it was so much fun. But the whole time while I was in that suitcase crouched down, I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. Is he going to think this is weird? Is this going to be fun? Like, I thought it was really cool. I loved it. Everyone was like, "How did you manage to fit in that suitcase?" I was
Truly.
like,
Yeah.
benefits of being small, I guess.
Oh my gosh. I was
It
like,
was-
how is she not suffocating?
Right?
I would be having like a whole claustrophobic fit.
I would be getting Charlie horses like no other the
my gosh.
entire time. Because everyone else came out, they were either pilot or not pilots, but they were flight attendants or they, you know, were some way involved in aviation. So you definitely made yourself stand out.
Thank you. And I was
Yeah,
like,
you did.
everyone kept saying, "How did you breathe in there? How were you not nervous?" And honestly, I was freaking out because I'm like, all the girls got to ride in the limo in together, and I'm just by myself. Like, I wasn't with any of the other girls. So I was literally on my own. And I just like unzipped the suitcase just a little, and I was just like breathing through this little hole the whole time. And I was like, once I popped there, I was just glad to be out of the suitcase at that point.
Oh my gosh,
I
I'm
can
sure. And so when you finally got out and you got onto the show and everything, was it different? And you said that you hadn't really watched it before, but were you expecting something different? Was it better than you expected? Was it worse? How'd you feel about it?
I didn't really know what to expect when I walked in. I guess all I could think was like, oh my gosh, everyone in here is literally so beautiful. So at first it can be a little intimidating, but at the same time, it's like, okay, my game face on. I got to make sure I talk to him. I got to get my time in already. But at the same time, you don't know these girls. So you're like, I don't want to push on any toes. So it was very confusing, but exciting at the same time for me.
Yeah.
And also, because, you know, there's a lot of personalities on the show and everything. And we have to know also, what was it like being a Black woman on The Bachelor?
It was good, but you don't get as much screen time as you think. You film kind of all day, all night, and there's so many fun things that you think are definitely going to be shown, and then they don't after you go back and watch it with everyone else. And it's kind of confusing, and it's kind of like they early on pick who they kind of want to be the face, which is very, I don't know, it's confusing because me not knowing or watching the show previously, I had like a completely open mind, thought all these things were going to be in, and then you watch the show and you're happy for people, but at the same time they don't show as much as they could be showing for minorities or Black people or anyone for that matter.
You are the second or third, to tell us that, which is, I mean,
Really?
it's so disheartening. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Dustin came on and he was saying, he was on Hannah Brown's season. He was saying that there was sometimes the one token Black male for his season. And so for your season, the one token Black woman to be on there too.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Are there scenes that you remember, like specific things that you really thought that would have added to your story and you were shocked that they didn't show?
Yeah, was the first night when I talked to Peter. I told him a lot about my family and just like growing up with a single mom and how all that worked. And there was also another night where we danced and all the girls in the house were singing like Kiki, do you love me? And he
I was just saying that.
around, and it was the cutest thing ever. And I was hoping like they would show it because everyone loved it. It was a great time, and they didn't know that at all. And even in my intro video, Chris Harrison was like, everyone's gonna be so tired of hearing them say Kiki and all this stuff, but it's like no one saw any of that at all. So
Wow.
it was confusing. I feel like it was confusing, especially to viewers, but even to me, because they didn't show anything to like match up with what he was saying at the beginning.
And how did that make you feel, knowing, like, watching back that you barely had any screen? You know, a lot of the Black female contestants on there didn't have enough screen time. How did that make you feel?
It was kind of disheartening because I feel like there were so many great girls who should have been shown and so many good opportunities that they didn't take advantage of. So to me, it was just kind of like you have all these great girls and then you pick specific ones that America's used to seeing to keep the viewers happy, but there's so much more that could have been shown for these girls that wasn't shown. So it was a little disheartening because everyone's like, oh, you should have had so many much more screen time. Like, you deserved all this screen time. But at the same time, it's like, I don't get to pick those parts. So when I go back and watch, I'm just as shocked as everyone else.
Did you feel that going through production, or was it more when it aired that you were like, wait, what? Like, did you feel any of that tension while filming?
I didn't really feel it when filming because I said, we did filming all day, all night. Like, it was constant. I didn't know what they were going to put in, but I felt like since we filmed so much, there was definitely going to be enough shown for everybody. So when I went back and watched it, I think I was more confused on, well, why didn't they show this or why didn't they show that? Because I know how much we did film in the house.
After watching it, were you a little bit, and especially because you hadn't watched The Bachelor before, were you more disinclined to be associated with the franchise? Because it was like, wow, that actually kind of hurt you guys. Did you feel like they were purposefully doing it?
I definitely feel like at times they are, because The Bachelor is such this all-American show that people are so used to watching, and I feel like a lot of the viewers that do watch it have these like long-held norms that they're so used to seeing, like what the idea of love is or who should be in love, and that's not true. There's so many different people that need to be shown that they're not showing.
Yeah. So then with Matt,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? I mean, we got a petition. Then they kind of just gave us Matt. And we've talked to a couple people who have said, I mean, Jasmine Good told us the other day, she was like, I felt like they kind of just did it to shut us up. I hope that's not the case. I hope they continue with this diversity, adding diverse people, adding diverse cast and crew. But did you have thoughts on that? What were your immediate kind of takeaways?
I definitely did. I was really happy for Matt. That's awesome. I'm so proud that they're actually doing something. But I do hope it's not just like, oh my God, all this is going on in the world, Black Lives Matter. Let's just throw him in to make Bachelor Nation or the ones that care about having different ethnicities as the lead, make them happy, to just quiet them up. So I hope that's not the case. I'm excited to see Matt's season. I've had so many people even message me and they're like, oh my God, you have to be on a season. You need to reapply. Like,
anyone we would know?
No, I mean, some girls from the season, but
do it, girl.
I don't know.
If you did come back, what are, 3 things in your contract, or just 3 things that you would want to happen in order for you to come back, or that you would want to have change within The Bachelor for you to come back?
For me to come back, I think they need to give everyone an equal amount of screen time, for sure. I think, I don't know, that's hard.
Floated. That's a good one.
That's a really good one. I think they have to be more willing to want to give everyone a fair story and not just give certain people a fair story. I think Matt needs to be able to make his own decisions on who he likes, who he doesn't like, and just be honest. I think that's very important, and not kind of just have someone maybe in his ear saying, this is who we think you look good with, this is who you should focus on, because I don't know for sure, but I feel like that could definitely potentially happen. And I wouldn't want that. I would want it to be genuinely as real as possible.
Did you feel like it was like that on Peter's season, that people or the producers were pushing him one way versus another?
I think it was more so Peter didn't know what he wanted.
Clearly.
So,
yeah, he ended up with no one. He ended up choosing
like, if he could just know what he wanted, he has all these beautiful women to choose from. If he could figure it out without Hannah being in his mind or Hannah showing up, then he would have been able to make a decision. And if producers were saying something to him, he would have been able to say, you know what, I want to do it this way. This is my season. And it would have been that simple.
Who do you think he would have chose? Who do you think he would have chose if he would have had his mind made up?
Oh, that's a good question.
Sanaa coming in.
I don't know. I mean, that's hard because I feel like Maddie and Hannah got a lot of time to speak with him versus times when he could have been getting to know other girls fully. So that's hard. It could have been me.
Okay,
I was-
girl, let them know.
I was
It's
gonna
you.
say, I'm like, after watching it all
love
play
you.
out, would
wanna
you
toot
want
my
to still
own horn,
date Peter?
At this point, no. But
No.
at the time, yes, I would have definitely given it more effort. I mean, I gave it all my effort, but it doesn't feel like he gave me all of his effort because he was focused on girls already at the beginning, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what other challenges do you think Matt will be facing when he comes for his season?
Ooh. I just hope that with Matt's season, he gets the same amount of viewers as Peter would or anyone else. And I think with him being Tyler's best friend, it's going to be beneficial for him, even though that shouldn't have anything to do with it. It's just a fact. So I hope that Matt gets a fair chance. I hope he gets girls that he actually likes and is interested in and can talk to them and get to know them without someone saying, okay, time to talk to someone else, which obviously I understand because everyone wants their time. But if he's genuinely into someone and wants to talk to them, I think he should have that opportunity to decide for himself.
Absolutely. And what about you, sister? Are you dipping your toes in this Bachelor Nation dating pool? I'm always so curious. I feel like everyone's dating everyone.
That dating pool is crazy, but I'm not dipping my toe in that right now. It's I feel like everyone's dipping their toe in that, so I'm just gonna stay back on that one for a
Smart.
while.
Smart.
Or maybe, we never know. Some of the previous contestants are slipping into your DMs.
No, not right now, at least. Not right
You don't
now.
got time for them. You're cooler than them.
Yeah,
You didn't know
I've had a couple, but I'm like, I've met up at lunch with one person that I won't say,
What? And you were
it
just
was
like,
good to have fun, good to know. Now maybe we'll hang out if we see each other around again, but it's good to meet other cast members, but not everyone's gonna fall in love.
Can we have a hint?
Yes.
Just like a little.
At least.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. He
Yes.
is from Hannah season. That's all.
Ooh.
I love it. We love it.
We love
Well,
it.
okay, that actually makes me think, though. I have zero idea what they are going to do with Bachelor in Paradise. Would you ever go on Paradise?
Ooh.
I know. Paradise
I
is sticky.
thought about it before, but it's so hard to know who's gonna be in Paradise now,
Mm.
So it all depends on who's going to Paradise. When is Paradise gonna actually happen? I don't know.
So many things. And we
So
kind of
many.
briefly chatted about it, but these people telling you to audition again,
Yeah.
or go on again.
Yeah.
Are you even thinking about it a little bit? Or would you want to even?
I wouldn't want to now. If Matt James was the Bachelor when Peter was the Bachelor, like when that was my time, I would have been so happy. I think it would have been a blast. I think I would have definitely made it farther.
Yeah.
But now at this point, after going through all of that, I don't know if I want to go back now, even with him being the Bachelor, just after seeing how everything went. Girls, it'll be their first time being on the show. I think it would just be a lot.
Yeah.
And I think you guys would look really cute together, though, too. Honestly. But that's just my 2 cents.
Sanaa's here
Yes,
for it.
Okay.
She's shipping you too.
I really do think you guys would be cute together. Or even, because you had such a strong personality to me. I loved you on his season. I was
Thank
rooting
you.
for you, girl.
We were your fan.
And I think
you were our fave. I'm like,
Okay.
we were yours.
I think you would be awesome to be a lead as well, too. So if you were going to be a lead on the show, would you take that opportunity?
Ooh.
I think I might have to.
Oh, come on, girl.
We'd be here
Right?
for it.
We would literally tweet watch live with you, everything, okay? And we would give our 2 cents, too.
Good.
So what would be some things that would need to be demanded in your contract if you were going to be the lead and take on, because that's a really
not
big...
with the contract question.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
Because that's a big responsibility, and Rachel had that responsibility before, and it was a lot. So what would be some things that you would want? Like, would you want more Black men, or would you want, what are some things?
I never thought about that.
We're here for you. We'll be your business manager.
Okay.
I think I would want as many ethnicities as possible. I would want to make sure that they're, like they said, doing background checks. I don't want any racists on my season. That I can't do. I can't do cocky people. Like, I understand hyping yourself up, but if you're cocky, I can't do it. You're going home. End the story.
Amen, sister.
I like you. You sending them home.
I know. We're like, we'd be your friend.
Right.
Yeah, what do you mean? We're already friends now.
That's so true. Oh, we love it. We're over Rona. We need people to come sit here with us.
Yes.
So next time you're in LA.
Was.
I know.
I really
do you live here, or are you still in, it's Georgia, right?
Yeah, I'm in Georgia right now.
Wow. So how has that been too in Georgia? I know even in Atlanta, the cases have spiked, and even with the city of Atlanta, even opening up really early before a lot of other places. So what are your thoughts on that too?
When we first opened up, I thought that was like the dumbest thing they could have possibly done. I think that was way too soon to be going out. So I am staying in. And even my hairstylist, like, I talked to her, and I went and got my hair done with her, and Sydney came because we get our hair done together, but it was only us in the salon. Like, she's my best friend now. It's crazy, but it was only us in the salon. And after that, disinfected. She did everything while we were there, before we came, even after. Yeah. So she already told us ahead of time, like, you can only bring in like a mask, because we had to wear a mask, and hand sanitizer, and just like little necessities. So it wasn't like we had all this stuff with us. But as far as like going out for drinks and the bars and all that, I'm not doing that. I will not.
Heck
no. It's scary.
It is scary.
It is scary. And my little sister, she is 21. She goes to Georgia State, which is in downtown Atlanta. So she's seen like all the riots, like everything. So I don't know. It's for her, she loves to be out and all that, but at the same time, as her older sister, I'm like, you need to be careful. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to be out there with you. So it's been a lot, especially because Atlanta is just such a strong city, and they will speak up for how they feel. They will get out there, and that's also what I love about being here.
Yeah. And it's tons of Black people there too, which I love every time I go to Atlanta.
I love it.
I love seeing people who look like me too. And so what has that been like as well? In Atlanta, we know with Shard Brooks, how he was, wrongfully shot and killed by the police. So what are your thoughts on that, on all the police brutality that's been happening?
I think it's absolutely absurd. Like, in my mind, it doesn't make sense to me how you can treat any human like that and then have no remorse, or people will stick up for it, because that says a lot about who people are in general. And for me, it really hits home because I have Black cousins and family. So like, I have a 4-year-old cousin, and I'm like, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, and that could easily happen to him. And that freaks me out. So I'm like, change needs to happen. These people need to be accounted for what they're doing. Like, for me, there's no excuse. You know what you're doing, you know your job, but you know your limits, and you know what's right from wrong, and you're a human. Like, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's so wild. And especially like a big city like you're in, and same with us, it's like the energy here has just been like electric. And when it initially started, I remember with all our riots and everything, it was just like, holy cow, this needed to happen, and change needs to happen. And it's been crazy, but it was wild that it was kind of just all like almost grouped in with the COVID. And
yes, very, because I think with COVID, it's given people time to be quarantined and actually pay attention to what's going on. And it's like, these things have been happening for so long, and people haven't paid any attention, or they have, but they're not doing anything about it. And now it's just kind of like with COVID, you have to pay attention, you have to do something, you have to use your voice, you need to be using your platform, making a difference. And if you're not, people are going to look at you like, what's wrong with you? You say you have Black friends, or you're not racist, but what are you doing to showcase that, make a difference? Whether it's even having conversations with people you talk to every day. If they slip up and say the wrong thing, correct them. Like, it's just little things to big things.
And speaking of the little things to big things as well, and how some white people say, oh, I have Black friends, so I can say, certain things and do certain things. So just going a little bit back to The Bachelor with contestants, because some people have said, we have to make sure that that there's women on there who are not just dating Matt for the first time, dating a Black man for the first time. So what is some advice on that as well?
On not dating a Black man for what? Sorry, I'm confused.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I should have said the question easier. But basically, like, for women who haven't dated a Black man before, do you think they should still come on the show? Or what do you think they should do?
I definitely think they should still go on the show, because they will experience it. And if they act a certain way, they should be called out on it, or maybe the right person can explain to them, this is the situation, you may not be used to it. I definitely think it's necessary. It doesn't matter if you haven't dated this type of person before. Everyone has to learn in some type of way, and I think it'd be a good experience.
Amen, sister. Yeah. I agree. And I have to ask you, because we've been asking everyone we have on the show this, and I love this question. What is your advice? How can we be better allies?
I think for us to be better allies, we need to, like I said, use our platforms. We need to be willing to learn, because I think a lot of people also know what's happening, but they don't want to learn. They don't want to be involved, or they don't care. And I think that's the first step. You have to be willing to learn. You need to change people's thought processes. You need to call them out when they're wrong. You need to make sure that your facts are right before you try and correct anyone else. I just think everyone needs to do their part, whether it's donating, speaking out, whatever you can do, you should do it.
Amen, sister. We are right here with you, and we are so happy you came and sat with us. Well, really, I guess you sat. I'm like, I never know what to say on these Zoom calls. I'm like, thanks for Zooming.
Yes, thanks for meeting virtually. Also, before we get out of here, I have to know this. This is eating me up inside. Who do you think Hannah really did pop the bottle of champagne on purpose? I need to know.
Oh,
or do you think Kelsey was overreacting? Not you.
That was a wild night, because if you guys go back and watch it, I'm like sitting there with Kelsey, and when the bottle popped, we were talking about it before, because it's just like, I have this bottle, I've been waiting so long to pop it. Like, she had this bottle for like 2 years. And
I'm still confused why.
I think she got it from work or something, and she wanted to pop it at a special moment with whoever was special. So we're sitting there, she's just telling us about it. She had set it out. She's so excited. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I'm like, I can't wait to hear it pop. Like, I'm so excited. And then the bottle pops, and we're all sitting there, and I'm like looking at Kelsey, and I'm like, I swear that was not a cue word for it to pop or anything. And she's like, and we're all just like, and then she goes over. I'm like, well, go see like what's going on. And she walks over, freaks out. I don't think that Hannah knew specifically it was Kelsey's, but I do think they kind of set it up as like, Hannah, wear your champagne dress tonight, because Hannah had a dress called the champagne dress. They're kind of like, I think they were like, wear your champagne dress tonight. And so she wore her champagne dress tonight, and of course, she sees a bottle of champagne sitting out, and they go sit over there to talk. So she popped it, like thinking it's just like their vibe for the night, not realizing that it was Kelsey's. And honestly, I think it was an honest mistake on Hannah Ann's part, knowing her. And I do think at the time Kelsey did overreact, but at the same time, if I was Kelsey, I would have been just as mad, knowing I'd hyped this up for so long, telling everyone, and then I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was wild. I mean, I've been talking about this whole time. I'm like, I need to know about this champagne
Truly.
Oh, I know.
Truly.
Oh, I know.
Actually,
I was sitting there and I'm like, uh-oh, this is not going to be good. And then they kept zooming in on my facial expressions. Like,
Yes.
you're like, stop.
and I didn't know because I'm like, Kelsey, are you? She's like having this meltdown right now. And I'm just like, what is going on?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay, I need to know also, I'm like, before we actually wrap this up here, what are your thoughts on Peter and Kelly?
I'm happy for them.
Did you see that coming?
No. And I think that's what it is. I did not see that coming at all. Like, I was so shocked. And, like, I'm really good friends with Maddie. Like, she's coming this weekend to hang out. And I'm really excited. But she even told me, she's like, I had no idea that was happening until it came out just like everybody else. And seeing her and Kelsey in the house, they were like two peas in a pod. Like not Kelsey, Kelly. They were two peas in a pod. They were always together. It was like kind of her best friend in the house. Weird. And then to see that, it was just kind of like, but at the same time, we all remember why we were there for the same reasons. So it's also hard to be mad at her at the same time. It's just kind of like, from girl code, even though it's a weird way to put girl code, it's weird.
True.
But
the whole show is like crazy because girl code. I couldn't.
Yeah, girl code has a lot, and men don't understand. But girl code, we take it serious,
very seriously. That's why I'm like happy, but Team Maddie, love Maddie.
Yeah. Well, we know that you are fabulous, and we are rooting for you. Yes. And whatever you do next, whether it's going back on the show, doing your own thing, both, keep us posted, please. And when you're in LA, let us know. We would love to have you here. It'd be so much fun. And in the meantime, tell everyone where they can find you on all your social media.
All right. So you guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Kiarra Norman. And there will be some new TikToks coming out this weekend.
We love it. Oh, yeah, you and Maddie. So fun. We love it. We love it. We'll look out for those. And so now, what about you?
Yes, you guys can find me on Instagram at IAM_SANA_ and on Twitter at IAM_Sana.
Love it. And I'm Kelsey Meyer, and I'm Kels Meyer 2 on everything. And we appreciate you all. Thank you again, Kiarra. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.